Times have been added to the My Disney Experience app for the Mandalorian and Grogu's appearances. Some guests reported having trouble finding him despite being told, "This is the way." We have the rejected San Fransokyo Square attraction. Turbines over California.
Was Horizons as a kid, because you got to push buttons. I mean, let's be you fought with your sibling over which I want to do underwater. I want to do space. That's what you did. That was a cool.
If you didn't have siblings, your father. Oh, you two always pick. I never get to pick.
We're at Club Cool to do something called the Beverly Challenge. How do you feel?
I felt better before.
Oh, no! It's like from the Guardians of the Galaxy.
This is News Today with WDW News Today. I'm Tom Corliss of WDWNT.com. Please like this video, subscribe, and hit the notifications bell to make sure you never miss the latest from the Disney theme parks all around the world. But here now the news for August 25th, 2023. In a leaked email from an anonymous source, it was revealed that the Central Florida Tourism Oversight District has already ended the Walt Disney World Annual Pass program for their employees with no prior notice. Our source detailed that this change affects retired firefighters and their families, as well as current staff. Due to what the CFTOD claims is a low usage percentage of the Walt Disney World Annual Pass benefit, a new annual stipend has been proposed instead. If approved, district employees will instead receive a one-time annual stipend of $1,000 starting October 1st, 2023. The stipend can be used on whatever the employees wish and not just on annual passes to Walt Disney World. Spoiler alert, $1,000 doesn't cover the highest tier of the Walt Disney World Annual Pass, just for the record. Earlier in that day, we had reported that the Central Florida Tourism Oversight District had issued a press release stating that they had submitted a referral to the Florida Inspector General in the hopes of eliminating the annual pass benefit for district employees. In the release, the board repeatedly referred to these benefits as handouts and a scheme by Disney in order to get more money. The board received a bill for $492,382.96 from Disney for Q1 fiscal year 2022 tickets, which prompted this sudden move. Most theme parks, both in and outside of Florida, provide their employees with free entry to the parks and discounts. Employees of the former Reedy Creek Improvement District, though not Walt Disney World cast members, receive similar benefits for themselves and their families. I don't necessarily believe that Reedy Creek employees were given the annual passes away for Walt Disney World to funnel money back to themselves. I don't believe that was a thing. I believe because they work on the property, they were rewarded with a benefit, right? And so I know the firefighters were happy that they got a slight raise. It wasn't very much. I think they would have liked more, but they got a slight raise. But now on top of that, they've lost this benefit. I know the reason we were sent that email anonymously is because they're not happy. So again, it's another amazing chapter in this Central Florida Tourism Oversight District story. It's still being written. A slew of new items are recently added to the menu at the Plaza restaurant, a table service restaurant in the Magic Kingdom on Main Street, USA, located next to Plaza Ice Cream Parlor. All of these new options are available as both lunch and dinner items. There are specialty milkshakes for $8.25 and new flavors like chocolate pecan brownie, key lime, and strawberry shortcake, all new to the menu. The restaurant also offers the classic chocolate, vanilla, strawberry, and mint chocolate chip. With all of those are $7 each. Since the new shakes are considered specialty, they're an extra $1.25. The chocolate pecan brownie milkshake, according to the menu, includes hand-dipped chocolate ice cream blended with spiced pecans, brownies, and chocolate sauce. The key lime shake contains hand-dipped vanilla ice cream blended with key lime curd and graham cracker crumbs, while the strawberry shortcake milkshake includes hand-dipped strawberry ice cream blended with vanilla cake and strawberries. Each milkshake is topped with a whipped topping that contains an additional sweet treat. Brownies top the pecan brownie one. Strawberry shortcake milkshake comes with a strawberry, and a graham cracker sticks out of the key lime shake. There's also a chocolate layer cake for $10. The Plaza restaurant simply describes this as a chocolate layer cake with caramel popcorn mousse. The chocolate cake has 3 layers, and each cake is separated by a thick layer of mousse. An edible decoration sit atop the cake, each slice served with caramel popcorn. The cotton candy cheesecake is $10 as well. Described as a cotton candy cheesecake with fresh berries, and it matches the bright and inviting color of traditional pink cotton candy, and like the strawberry shortcake milkshake, is served with strawberries. There's also now a pot roast stack for $24. It's a creative take on the American home-style classic, featuring slow-roasted beef piled high on thick-cut toast with mashed potatoes, caramelized onion gravy, and onion rings. It's a combination of comfort food that blends various textures and flavor profiles, resulting in a dish that's wholeheartedly American. There's a crab cake sandwich for $26. It features crab cake griddled and served with lettuce, tomato, and remoulade sauce on a potato roll. And between the bed of lettuce and tomatoes, the crab cake rests upon the vivid yellow appearance of the remoulade sauce and the French fries and sliced pickles. The dish is served with. The crab cake sandwich almost emulates the appearance of a traditional cheeseburger. This is much needed. Plaza Restaurant used to be an every trip thing for us. And then when they changed the fries, which was the first mistake, and then they changed the menu, and it just has not been good. I am excited. We're going to go try these things and give you guys a review. I hope this is better than their last outing, because the last outing was real rough. If you fell in love with the first practical depiction of a loth cat while tuning into the 2-episode premiere of Ahsoka on Disney+, you're in luck. Disney PhotoPass has introduced 2 new Ahsoka-inspired magic shots and a new lens in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at both the Disneyland and Walt Disney World resorts. Disney PhotoPass shared the news on the service's official Instagram account on Wednesday. One of the magic shot places guests next to a loth cat, a species of cat named for the planet Lothal. Loth cats were seen occasionally throughout Star Wars Rebels, an animated series that aired from 2014 to 2018, and one appeared in as the pet of Sabine Wren during the 2-episode premiere of Ahsoka. The other magic shot is available in front of the Millennium Falcon and allows guests to appear in a photo with Chopper, a rambunctious droid who is a major character in Star Wars Rebels and also is appearing in Ahsoka. The Disney PhotoPass lens places guests inside a clone trooper uniform. Clone troopers, of course, fought alongside Ahsoka and other Jedi during the Clone Wars, eventually betraying them. Spoiler alert. Hope you knew that by now. The lens is available in the My Disney Experience and Disneyland mobile apps and is only available with the purchase of Disney Genie Plus. The Stormalong Bay and Shipwreck pools at Disney's Yacht and Beach Club resorts will be closed for 5 months to complete routine maintenance. From January of 2025 through May of 2025, both pools will be closed for routine maintenance. Guests are advised that they may see or hear construction during working daytime hours. In the meantime, guests are encouraged to swim at the Tidal, Admiral, and Dunes Cove leisure pools instead. But if you've stayed there before, you know there's no comparison to Stormalong Bay. That's why they had to tell you a year and a half in advance, because people are going to be upset. This program is brought to you by our official travel agent sponsor, Be Our Guest Vacations. Your dream vacation begins with Be Our Guest Vacations and their concierge team of expert vacation planners. Head on over to beourguestvacations.com/WDWNT and their team will design your next magical vacation, from the Walt Disney World and Disneyland resorts to the Disney Cruise Line to Adventures by Disney and more. They're also able to book the most unforgettable VIP tours where you and your group can experience the ultimate park day. The best part is their concierge services are 100% free, so book today. She may have left the Jedi Order, but she's arrived in Batuu. Ahsoka Tano made her debut in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland on Wednesday, August 23rd, in conjunction again with the premiere of her show. Ahsoka took photos with guests near the Black Spire Outpost Marketplace for roughly 15 minutes before departing. Disney Parks announced last week that Ahsoka would start meeting guests at Black Spire Outpost alongside the premiere of the series. And now she's there. She's not at Walt Disney World because, as you remember, Disneyland Resort, they have broken away from the timeline as far as character appearances go. Because of the Galactic Star Cruiser, Disney World has remained locked in that time frame where Batuu is supposed to be in accordance with the 2 attractions. But obviously, Galactic Star Cruiser is set to close at the end of next month, so who knows what the future may hold. Disneyland Resort has shared a first look inside Tiana's Palace at Disneyland Park, which will open to guests on September 7th. A blue skylight features a lily pad pattern and is lined with lights on an iron frame. Wall sconces resemble upside-down lily pads with green gems hanging from the stem. Among the props inside is the drum for the Firefly 5 Plus Loo. And the mural is inspired by the New Orleans bayou lit up at night with Evangelines and raised stars from The Princess and the Frog in the sky. A bell with a bug pull hangs from a frog statue's tongue next to a shelf of cookbooks and supplies. In addition to that first look inside the restaurant, Disneyland also released the full menu with pricing. We'll read that for you now. Seasonal offerings will include a Lilypad and Lotus Cup ceramic set for $34.99. That'll come with the house-filled beignet. It's a limit of 2 per person per transaction. And then that house-filled beignet will be $4.49. It's featuring lemon icebox pie filling topped with lemon glaze. And if you've been to New Orleans or from there, you know that's not a real beignet. They do not make filled beignets in New Orleans, but nonetheless, they're going to have them. As far as entrees, there's the house gumbo for $16.99. It's braised chicken, andouille sausage, and heirloom rice. There's 7 greens gumbo with chicken and andouille sausage for $16.99. It's white beans, okra, yams, sweet potatoes, and heirloom rice. Cajun spiced half chicken is $19.49. It's brushed with barbecue sauce, served with baked macaroni and cheese and coleslaw. There's the muffaletta sandwich for $14.99. Hold on. I almost read that in the New York Italian, and for everyone at home, I'm gonna read what's actually written and not shorten it. Mortadella, salami, rosemary ham, cheddar, provolone, and house-made olive relish on toasted New Orleans sesame seed bread, served with red beans and rice and house-made pickles. There's also a beef po' boy sandwich for $15.99. It's slow-cooked beef with gravy dressing with shredded lettuce, tomato, pickle, and mayonnaise on a toasted New Orleans French bread served with red beans and rice and house-made pickles. There's Gulf shrimp and grits for $17.49, simmered with Creole sauce with cheesy grits. And Southern specialties include a buttermilk cornbread for $3.99, probably what I'm most excited about. You could also get a chicory cold brew from Joffrey's Coffee for $5.99 with sweet cream. As far as plant-based options, there's a 7 greens gumbo with white beans, okra, yams, sweet potatoes, and heirloom rice. Kids Disney check meal, there's a roasted chicken drumstick for $8.49 with sweet barbecue sauce and heirloom rice, served with a Cuties mandarin orange and applesauce with choice of small Dasani water or small low-fat milk. There's also a toasted ham and cheese sandwich for $8.49, which is savory ham and provolone, again served with those sides and water or milk. For the regular kids meal, there's a baked macaroni and cheese for $7.99, which comes with Cuties mandarin orange and applesauce with that choice of water or milk. As far as beverages, they have a regular assortment, but you can add a Ray Firefly Glow Cube for $5.69, limit of 10 per person per transaction. If you feel like you've seen these before, you may have. These have actually been available at Tiana's Place aboard the Disney Wonder for quite some time, but there's the menu. Personally, I am heartbroken there's no jambalaya. I don't understand why, and I'm mad that it's a beef po' boy and not the French dip. The French dip is gone. 2 New Orleans staples that I think make sense. Tiana talks about making jambalaya in the movie, I believe. So there's some weird choices, but some things I'm intrigued to try. Let us know in the comments how you feel about the menu. Some walls have been moved and removed at the Adventureland entrance area at Disneyland Park, creating a wider route that Disney describes as a new trail to Frontierland. Upon entering the land, guests will encounter this construction wall, as well as see another construction wall by the restrooms. Earlier this month, half of the entrance walkway was blocked by construction walls and temporary metal barriers. On the construction wall, a sign reads, "Discover a new trail to Frontierland from the Central Plaza." As you can see in these photos, some of the planter on the Adventureland bridge has been removed with a wooden wall blocking off the opening. This widens the path into the land. It's not complete yet, but a portion of the new trail has opened. And we put new trail in quotations because there's always been a path between Adventureland and Frontierland here. Over at the Adventureland bathrooms, more construction walls are present but have been relieved a bit. They've been pulled back to allow for more guest flow. Prior to the construction walls being moved, they continued down into the land, effectively turning into one long, narrow walkway with the restrooms blocked off. Again, all this just to make more room for people to walk, to relieve some congestion in this area. A new Ghirardelli sign featuring Japanese characters has been installed atop the Ghirardelli soda fountain and chocolate shop in San Fransokyo Square at Disney California Adventure. Well, it will be San Fransokyo Square. It's still Pacific Wharf for a couple more days. Ghirardelli is in big red lettering now, while the red Japanese characters below mean they translate to chocolate. At the end of August, Baymax Bread will also be making its debut at San Fransokyo Square, California Adventure, when that officially opens on the 31st of the month. The latest snack was jointly shared on Instagram by the official Disney Parks and Disney Eats pages. Quote, what's better than bread? Baymax bread, of course. Get this very special loaf from the Bodine Bread Cart in San Fransokyo Square starting August 31st. Limit 2 per person per transaction while supplies last. So remember that, kids. You can buy 10 Firefly glow cubes to resell on the internet, but only 2 loaves of bread. I'll just continue to crack only myself up. The Downtown Disney District reimagining is still underway at Disneyland Resort, and a steel structure has risen above construction walls at the site of what was previously Catal Restaurant and the Uva Bar. The latter dining locations closed in April. The construction walls advertise Paseo and Centrico from Michelin-starred chef Carlos Gaitan, which will take over the space. A quote from Chef Gaitan is on the wall. It reads, there's a Mexico that very few in other parts of the world know. It is my purpose to share it with them through my food. Signage was removed from the rounded marquee on the building, and the new structure is a large circle. As seen in concept art, it will be an outdoor seating area. Closer to the Disneyland Hotel, we spotted a different steel frame over the construction walls. Next to the monorail track is a concrete building, and we know from our June construction update that some of the ground just behind these walls has been paved. The new steel frame resembles a Chinese-style hip roof. This will likely be the Chinese restaurant Din Tai Fung, which was announced last year. Of course, Disney has not set an opening date for any of these individual locations. They have said they expect the entire Downtown Disney reimagining to be completed by next November, though. DVC Resale Market is the world's largest Disney Vacation Club reseller. For anyone looking to buy or sell any Disney Vacation Club property, the DVC Resale Market is the place. The entire staff is made of Disney-trained former cast members who deliver an unmatched level of experience, knowledge, and efficiency 7 days a week. If you're thinking about becoming a Disney Vacation Club member, their team can welcome you home for less with savings of up to 75% off Disney Direct prices. So make sure to head on over to dvcresalemarket.com. A new map of Disney Cruise Line's upcoming Disney Treasure ship has surfaced and features some surprising Easter eggs. The Disney Treasure map is appropriate for the adventure-inspired ship, which we already know will have an Agrabah-themed atrium or grand hall. David Vaughn shared a photo of the Disney Treasure map on Twitter. It was sent to media outlets. The map is of an island shaped like the Disney Treasure cruise ship, with 2 mountain ranges, maybe representing the 2 stairwells and elevator banks of the ship, surrounded by various buildings, rocky structures, and as well characters. Here are the IPs and icons we noticed. There's Frozen on the top left, Zootopia below Frozen. The Incredibles are there as well. Marvel is represented by Cap, Shield, and the Quantum Core. Beauty and the Beast is there as well with Lumiere and Cogsworth. Moana. We have the Star Wars represented by Porgs and as well an X-Wing. Up is there. Mickey and Friends, character-inspired buildings. You see those. We'll talk about those in a second. There's the Jungle Cruise, Mulan, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea with the Nautilus and the squid in the water. Toy Story, represented by Rex and Trixie. And there's Aladdin, of course, representing that atrium. You may also notice Spaceship Earth, Alice in Wonderland teacups, The Lion King, The Jungle Book, Coco, Rapunzel, Peter Pan, and more. Spaceship Earth is there as well. That may just represent the WDI-inspired room of the Oceaneers Club, we believe, similar to that which you'll find on the Disney Wish. The Alice in Wonderland teacups could represent one of the ship's coffee shops. That's just a guess at this point. The Marvel icons, though, likely reference Worlds of Marvel. We'll talk about that more in a few moments. The Mickey and Friends buildings are clearly the Mickey and Friends Festival of Foods, which is already on the Disney Wish, which will translate over to the Disney Treasure. Thumbs up for that. Donald's Cantina, one of the best counter service restaurants in the entirety of the Disney-known world, and I stand by that. The pyramid on the strip of island at the top of the map appears to have a water slide going through it, so this could be a hint to the story of the Treasures version of the Aqua Mouse, so it's a Donald Duck and a pyramid. The teaser video released with the announcement of unlocking the Disney Treasure adventure awaits on board Disney's newest ship already includes locations that could reference Coco, Up, Encanto, and Jungle Book. Unlocking the Disney Treasure will premiere on the Disney Parks blog on Wednesday, August 30th at 11 a.m. We, of course, will be ready to bring you all the news from that presentation. The video is narrated by the new character Arthur Quinn, who states his family has explored far-off lands in search of magical realms for years. The character could be connected to the Society of Explorers and Adventurers, but Disney hasn't said anything just yet. We already know Peter Pan and Captain Hook will be on the ship via the figures on the ship's stern. Captain Minnie is located on the map as well in the Voyager outfit that she's been marketed with. That's because she will be on the bow of the ship in this costume. Speaking of the treasure, and as well the so far unnamed 7th Disney Cruise Line ship, they will both reportedly feature Worlds of Marvel, a restaurant first introduced on the Disney Wish. And while Worlds of Marvel has a screen-based interactive show featuring Ant-Man and the Wasp, new shows with different characters will debut on the new ships. On the Disney Treasure, Disney Wish's Quantum Encounter will still run on some nights, while a second show will run on other nights. It's believed the 7th ship will introduce a third show when that debuts, possibly in 2025, but Disney has not really given us a firm date on the third ship in the Triton or Wish class just yet. The map, of course, we talked about featured Captain America's shield and a quantum core, so it could be Captain America themed, that show. The box they sent them the map in had a Spider-Man decal on it. Maybe it's a Spider-Man show. We'll just have to wait and see. But again, August 30th, we are going to get the full reveal of everything that is on board the Disney Treasure, which is expected to launch sometime in 2024. And again, we expect that 7th ship, at least for now, to premiere sometime in 2025. Sticking with Marvel, shawarma is finally available at the Parisian Avengers campus. The food famously enjoyed by the Avengers after the Battle of New York is now on the menu at the Super Diner in Avengers campus at Walt Disney Studios Park in Disneyland, Paris. Here are the new options, including a salad and a kids meal. There's a shawarma dish for 11 euros. As well, there is a vegan shawarma dish for 11 euros as well. There's a Caesar salad for 7.5 euros and a kid shawarma for 6 euros. The rest of the menu remains largely unchanged, including the Choco Blast dessert. Remember, there's a video here where I reviewed all of the food when Avengers Campus opened in Paris. If you're ever going to head over there, please be sure to watch that. But they've also added 2 more Ben & Jerry's offerings, a vanilla pecan brittle for 4.5 euros and a cookie dough pecan pop for 4.5 as well. The Oriental Land Company has announced the names of the attractions and such that are coming to Fantasy Springs, the massive new 8th port for Tokyo DisneySea. The port will officially open in the spring of 2024 with the following offerings. Set after the events of the Disney animation film Frozen, Frozen Kingdom is full of happiness now that Elsa has embraced her powers to create ice and snow. In the Anna and Elsa's Frozen Journey attraction, which follows the story of the film, guests board a boat and enjoy an epic and heartwarming tale of 2 sisters that discover only true love can thaw a frozen heart. The attraction also features the film's well-known songs, and additionally, guests can dine at the Royal Banquet of Arendelle restaurant located in the Arendelle Castle, which has both indoor dining areas and a covered outdoor dining area with views of the fjord cliffs and the mountains in the distance. Guests can also stop by Oaken's OK Foods, run by Oaken, the owner of the Trading Post and sauna that is featured in the film. In Rapunzel's Forest stands a tower where the long-haired Princess Rapunzel has lived since she was a child. And here, guests can enjoy the Rapunzel's Lantern Festival attraction and experience Rapunzel's best day ever as she falls in love with Flynn Rider on a romantic boat ride to the annual Lantern Festival. Over at the Snuggly Duckling restaurant, where the local rough and tumble crowd gathers, guests can enjoy a meal in a variety of atmospheric dining areas. The Rapunzel's Lantern Festival water ride will be 5 minutes in length. Meanwhile, the Snuggly Duckling will be a counter-service restaurant. It's worth noting that Arendelle restaurant is counter-service as well. There are no table service in the land, just in the hotel. In Peter Pan's Neverland, guests can explore a pirate ship, dine in a secret hideaway, or go on a great adventure with their friends as they encounter pirates. In the attraction Peter Pan's Neverland Adventure, guests join the Lost Boys, a group of fun-loving and adventurous children, and explore Neverland with Peter Pan and Tinkerbell to rescue John from Captain Hook and his band of pirates. Additionally, guests can enjoy dining at Lookout Cookout, a restaurant created by the Lost Boys from parts of a shipwreck that had washed ashore, with spectacular views of Neverland. Pixie Hollow, the fairy valley where Tinkerbell lives, can also be found in Peter Pan's Neverland. Here, guests can experience the fairy Tinkerbell's Busy Buggies attraction and help Tinkerbell deliver parcels and packages to 4 seasonal locations in Pixie Hollow. Peter Pan's Neverland Adventure Ride will be about 6 minutes in length, and it will require 3D goggles. It is a 3D screen-based attraction. Also, the minimum height requirement will be 102 centimeters. Lookout Cookout is a counter service location as well, just as we talked about before. And Ferry Tinkerbell's Busy Buggies is a mostly outdoor ride. It'll be about 2 minutes in length. I would equate it to, if you remember Heimlich's Choo Choo Train in A Bug's Land at California Adventure, I would say it's going to be basically that, but on a, if it was given a budget, if money was spent on it. Meanwhile, on the first floor of the Tokyo DisneySea Fantasy Springs Hotel is Fantasy Springs Gifts, a merchandise gift shop accessible from within the park. Tokyo DisneySea Fantasy Springs Hotel is a park-integrated Disney hotel where guests can soak up the atmosphere of the themed port. The hotel is comprised of 2 buildings, the Fantasy Chateau and the Grand Chateau. The Fantasy Chateau offers deluxe-type rooms adorned with motifs of the flora and fauna of Fantasy Springs, while the Grand Chateau offers luxury-type rooms which provide guests with the finest accommodation experience at the Tokyo Disney Resort. Additionally, the hotel has 3 dining facilities, all facing the park, and at Fantasy Springs Restaurant, guests can dine buffet-style while gazing upon paintings inspired by the Disney animation films Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs, Tangled, and Sleeping Beauty. Guests can also enjoy Grand Paradis Lounge, a lobby lounge with large open windows. Furthermore, La Liboulelle, a restaurant exclusively for guests staying in the Grand Chateau, offers views of Fantasy Springs from the sublime dining hall with French cuisine for a blissful experience only a Disney hotel can offer. The Tokyo DisneySea Fantasy Springs Hotel will be comprised of 9 floors, 475 rooms. There's 419 of those in the Fantasy Chateau, only 56 of those in the Grand Chateau. And of course, it is connected to the park and will offer an entrance and exit to the park from the back end, essentially. Of course, we've seen concept art for the hotel before, but there is a new piece of art that has now been released, which shows us a different vantage point. From this vantage point, we're on the other side, and we can see some new details, such as the grand windows. But most noticeably, there is rockwork and a fountain feature that represents Fantasia. It's Sorcerer Mickey Mouse, as well as those enchanted brooms, and it is very, very cute. We also got a better look at the 4 Fantasy Springs attraction posters as they were released publicly in full resolution. Of course, you may remember we showed you pictures of these from the D23 Expo back in 2022. All 4 of the posters serve as advertisements, again, for those rides you'll find when the land opens next year. Work on Fantasy Springs commenced in 2019 following the 2018 announcement. The 8th port of DisneySea, initially aimed to open in 2022, was delayed to 2023 and now will ultimately open in the spring of 2024. The rumor is April, but we'll keep you in the loop as we know more. Hong Kong Disneylanders released another piece of World of Frozen concept art ahead of the land's November 2023 opening. The concept art depicts the village of Arendelle with the palace in the background and Elsa's ice palace on the North Mountain in the distance. To the right, musicians play and guests dance, and behind them, Wandering Oak and sliding sleighs take guests on a journey past a waterfall. 2 boats are docked in the lagoon at the center, and more of the village is along the water to the left, with the clock tower featuring figures of Anna and Elsa near the palace. The art shows the land at sunset, with light shining through Elsa's ice palace. Again, expected to open at Hong Kong Disneyland in November, will be the first Frozen-themed land at any park. For the absolute latest on these stories and all that didn't make it into today's show, be sure to check WDWNT.com and follow us on your favorite social media platforms. You can support the entire team behind this show and others by joining the WDWNT Interglobe Society at patreon.com/WDWNT. Get access to exclusive content, discounted show and event tickets, and more. Special shout out to all of our WIGS members who make this show happen every week. For the worldwide leader in Disney Parks news, this is Tom Corliss saying, enjoy the rest of your today. Have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow.